Hey everyone, we're making hands. I found my favorite way to make low poly hands is to make a high poly main hand shape to serve as a guide, building low poly fingers, and then use the fingers as a jump point to re-topo it all together. So let's do that! Also, if you could like the video, thanks. To start, I'm going to organize my outliner a bit. Turn off the visibility of everything. Shift A, add a cube. In wireframe view, move the cube to about where the hand is. In edit mode, scale down. Scale down on the Z axis. Select the front vertices, move them down on the Z axis. Line everything up. Select the back half and scale down on the Y axis. Select all and move into position with the reference. With Ctrl R, add 3 edge loops. Delete these 4 faces. Delete these faces as well. Add an edge loop here. Let's give our object a subdivision modifier. Select these 4 vertices. With sharp proportional editing, scale down on the Z axis. Move these vertices in on the Y axis. And make any other adjustments. Select these vertices and pull them back. Select this vertex and pull it out. Move it down a little. Move this to match the reference. Add an edge loop near the middle of the hand. Edge slide this side a little bit. Maybe select these 2 vertices and scale. Pull out on the Y axis to match the reference. Keep shaping. Shade smooth. Add another edge loop here with Ctrl R. Turn on proportional editing. Continue shaping. Now we want to make room for a thumb opening. When everything is in place, select these vertices and delete with X. Alt select this loop and shift select these last 2. In edit mode, add a circle. Change the vertices to 10, scale it down. Position and rotate it to match the thumb on the reference. Select these 4 vertices and create a face with F. Fill in the rest of the faces. That's pretty close. Add an edge loop here. Shape this new loop. Attempt to match the reference, which can sometimes be difficult with hands. This'll work, I think. In object mode, add a 6-vertex circle. Tab into edit mode, and rotate by 90 degrees. Position and scale to match a finger. Select these two vertices and scale down. Select all and extrude a finger out. Move up on the Z-axis. Scale down. Extrude out again. Scale down. Scale down more on the Z-axis. Rotate. Select these vertices. Scale up on the Y-axis. Scale up this edge as well. Create an edge across the middle here, hit F3 and search for subdivide. Move this vertex to here on the reference. Select these two edges and subdivide again. Edge slide to about here. And scale. Add an edge loop for the first knuckle. Scale this edge up. Add an edge loop here for the second knuckle. Select and subdivide this edge. Move this new vertex down. Select these two vertices and create an edge between them with F. Subdivide this edge. Move this vertex forward. Select these vertices and join them together with J. Divide the top face up in the same way. Pull this middle vertex forward. Fill in these faces. Select all and shade smooth. In front view, circle select these vertices and move them down on the Z-axis. Select this vertex and duplicate with Shift D. Move the original vertex up on the Z-axis. Switch to Edge Select. Delete this edge with X. Fill in the faces like so. Select this vertex and extrude forward. Fill in these edges with F. Select these edges and subdivide. Scale these vertices. And move them forward on the X-axis. Move these front three vertices down on the Z-axis. Fill in these faces. Select all, recalculate normals outside, and shade smooth. Switch to Edge Select and select these edges. Hit Ctrl E and choose Mark Sharp. Add an Edge Split modifier and deselect Edge Angle. Select these two vertices and move them back slightly. Add edge loops on both sides of the knuckle edge loops. Select vertices in groups of 3 with the middle one last. Hit M and choose at last. Circle select and edge slide these edges. Select all and duplicate out a few more fingers. Alt-select these edge loops and dissolve edges with X. Move the middle finger forward. In Vertex Select, use C to circle select sections of the fingers and position the knuckles. Hit Ctrl L to select this entire finger. Shift select this vertex last. Switch the pivot point to active element and rotate this finger to match the reference. Do the same on the next finger and rotate it down a bit. Select this last finger and scale it down. Move this finger back. Position on the Z-axis. Position and scale the knuckles on the Y-axis. Use proportional editing to scale this finger down on the Y-axis. Select this finger and duplicate it. Move it out of the way. Let's turn it into a thumb. Alt-select these edge loops and dissolve edges with X. Select these edges and dissolve them as well. Select these vertices and hit J to divide up the front face into 3 tries. Hit K to use the knife tool and cut in an edge. Switch to Edge Select and dissolve this edge. Mark these edges as sharp with Ctrl E. Merge these vertices at last. Select this back loop and move it forward. Scale up on the Z-axis. Rotate slightly. Move down on the Z-axis. Move it out of the way again if you need to. Select these vertices. Scale up on the Y-axis. Scale these 4 on the Y-axis even more. Hit Ctrl R, scroll your mouse wheel to add a couple edge loops, and click once. Hit E and then F to choose which side the edge loop is shaped like. Then click again to confirm placement. In wireframe view, select and rotate these vertices. Move stuff around. Scale out on the Y-axis. Move stuff. Rotate this edge a bit using the upper edge as active element, and then scale down. Make it look like a thumb. Change back to median point and scale the sides so it doesn't look weird. Make any other changes. In side view, rotate this thumb by 60 degrees. In front view, rotate by 45. Now just kind of drag it over here. In top view, rotate by -30. That'll get it close, so rotate slightly to fine tune it. Now let's prep the fingers to connect together. First, organize the back edge loop of the fingers into a broad arc. Select and hide the front and top of the fingers with H. Select and move the backmost vertices to also resemble an arc. Unhide with Alt-H. For the most part, the top of the fingers are good. Grab and move this vertex back. Circle select everything except the back loops and hide with H. Now let's move the middle vertices so they also form an arcing pattern. In top view, move this vertex forward just a little bit. Select all these top vertices and hit F3 to search for subdivide. Shape these upper 3 vertices like knuckles. It might be helpful to hide the lower vertices. Also feel free to use proportional editing. Make the knuckles. Use side view to shape the top of the hand. Unhide with Alt-H. Make any shape adjustments. Divide these upper n-gon faces into tries with J. Select these 4 vertices and make a face with F. Fill in the rest. Let's convert some of these faces into tries. Now let's start making the rest of the hand. Turn on snapping the face and extrude vertices out onto the hand guide. And fill in faces. It's never too late to adjust the fingers if you don't like something. Turn off the reference if it's in your way, we won't need it for a while now. Keep extruding and filling in faces. I'm turning the gaps in between the fingers into tries. Ctrl Z to undo whenever you mess anything up. Keep adjusting. In the Object Properties tab, enable in front, and fill in the faces. You can enable backface culling if you prefer. Continue the retopple process. Subdivide edges if you need more geometry, or use the knife tool. Divide faces with J. Add an edge here with the knife tool and dissolve the extra edges with X. Add shape to anything that the guide isn't perfect on. It'll be easier now that our shape is pretty low poly. But make sure snapping is off when you're adjusting the shape. Also turn snapping back on when you're re-topoing. Temporarily turn off in front and back face culling. Create this final loop to closely match the guide. And turn it all back on. And then turn it back off once you're finished. Disable the visibility of this hand guide. This looking pretty good, but it could use some knuckle definition. Turn off snapping. Move this vertex down on the Z-axis. These two up slightly. And this one to match the reference. Select these two vertices and join with J. Do this in between every finger. Move the middle vertices a bit. Don't move them down too much. Move the cursor to World Origin with Shift S, and in the Object menu, set the origin to 3D Cursor. Add a mirror modifier, and tidy up the outliner. Turn back on our other objects to admire our handiwork. And I think that's looking pretty good. Hooray! Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next time for some detail wrap-up. Stay safe. I love you all. Goodbye!